talking about performing, right? Well, we're now right in the middle of a pandemic, right? And we're quarantined. And how did that affect you in terms of performing? And there was a time that you were in you were there was a time that you were in Enchanted Kingdom, weren't you?
That's right. So yeah, Enchanted Kingdom, when you are a performer, you are a part of the live events industry. And what is required, well, it's like an unwritten part of performing is that you need to be there, present. You need to show up and people will have to watch you. So I was affected significantly by the pandemic. Nobody would show up. Nobody was going to pay for it, and therefore I wasn't going to earn. That's what I was worried about back in March. Like, oh no, my dreams. 2020 was supposed to be my year, because
Yes.
yeah,
And
and just
everybody thought that way too. They came in 2020 and then the volcano erupted. So, okay, well,
that's
that's
right.
just like one blow, right? And now we have this quarantine. I
That's
mean,
right.
it was supposed to be like a brand new start of an entire decade, right? And
Yeah,
all of this just happened, right? So
that's right.
you were already like in a groove, you were already performing, you were doing what you were designed to do, and there was so much joy in that, and all of a sudden the pandemic happened, right?
Yeah.
And so what do you do now?
Exactly. I was bringing joy to the audience. I was
True.
the yeah, that was really like, even in psychology, I just really wanted to understand people, hype them up professionally further on. Now I became an entertainer, and then suddenly just got, sorry to say this, but got taken away from me suddenly. Yeah. So I was really affected, yeah, by the
And how
pandemic.
did you feel when that happened?
Oh my gosh. I felt a little lost, to be honest. I mean, what can you do as a performer? Your workplace is the stage, and since that was closed down, what are you gonna do when you wake up in the morning? I wasn't a content creator back then. I relied on the public, nothing about being online. So I was like, should I still go on? Should I still do this? Do I still have the chance to go back to the corporate world, or is that me thinking about giving up? So I had so many questions running in my head, a lot of self-doubt. I felt a little down for like 2 months or so. So yeah. Hmm.
It must have been an emotional moment for you. Was that could you hark back at a singular day when you actually said, man, this is not going well?
Yeah, I can definitely recall that one day. I always remember that day where I just woke up on this very bed and I just walked over to that table and I found myself typing into the address bar the URL for a job search platform. And that was me literally giving up already. I had so many bookmarks for industries that I wanted to go back in. I was like, oh, this is me giving up, huh? And the reason that day was memorable for me was because that was the same day I received the opportunity for Lazada.
Okay.
Yeah. So things turned around in like less than 24 hours on
So
that
life
day.
was falling apart. Life was falling apart, and all of a sudden, you had like this glimmer of hope. It's
Right.
almost like what is this light, and how did it come to you?
Yeah, literally doors were closing on that day, and then suddenly at the end of that, there was like this intriguing little door that I wasn't really familiar with, which was shoppertainment. And then so I was like, I have
What
nothing
was
to
it again?
lose.
Shop
Shoppertainment. Yeah.
Shoppertainment.
I know.
I'm learning so many new words now.
Yeah, but well, of course, shoppertainment isn't exactly new. I mean, there was TV shopping, diba? So now, because people weren't exactly looking at TV shopping like, what do you call this? Oh, that's my go-to for how to select the things I want to buy.
Uh huh.
Lazada decided to go for the live stream industry and like combine those things together. So that was the
Wow.
opportunity I received. Yeah,
When you heard about this opportunity, did you know like 100% what you were going to do at day one?
during the competition.
Uh huh.
Oh, No, not exactly, but I knew that I love to entertain. And I know that in my personal circles, I love talking about the things I shop for and convincing people that, oh, this is good, this ain't, this is not, here's the reason why it's good. So if I could combine those things together with my love for performing, sure, I'll join. That was my
How are you
mindset
able
going
to
in.
converge all of that? I mean, I've been to like different shows. I've seen other shows that are just they make a review, right? But then what I saw in you is that you had like that performance aspects where people actually, and I'm guilty of this. I key in their requests, and how
Yeah.
do you respond to that?
I mean, shopping is a pretty human, organic thing. People just really want to keep improving their homes or improving their skills or improving, but everything. That's why people shop. They want to upgrade their life somehow, no matter how small. And I wanted to capitalize on that. I wanted to feed into that hunger of everybody. Plus, have them enjoy that time so that it doesn't seem too stiff or too rigid or corporate. So I just knew it was an opportunity. So yeah,
So Lazada's your gig right now.
it's the main gig. That's right.
That's your
Yeah.
main gig right now. So how's it going for you?
Oh man, it's been going well. It's been going well. It's I every single time I go back online, I always discover a new side of me. I've also developed some public speaking skills. Yeah, that's the public. It's still considered the public, even
Uh
if
huh.
it's so weird. You cannot tell like no, how would I phrase this? The way I speak now wasn't the way I spoke during the beginning of the year. It's definitely been a boot camp live. If I wasn't going to get my arts education this year because of the 2020 pandemic thing, this is it. So I had to do it live.
This is like really on the job training, so to speak.
Yeah, it was like a second OJT for me. So it's been really good. I've also been able to learn how to not market, but sell products from different categories. So there are different sets of people for different categories. So it was also a mini psychology lesson for me as well. Yeah.